Well, we have a live interview today to help set the stage. We go back to late last Saturday night. This was the Knights of Exarban Ball at CHI Health Center. Celebration of leadership in our community. You see this part, and then the man you see at the microphone coming up, the most honored citizen for 2023, UNMC Chancellor Dr. Jeffrey Gold. And Dr. Gold joins us now, and first of all, congratulations on that honor.
Thank you.
I would love to go into your resume, but we don't have time to do that. But it's extensive. I'll just encourage you at home, go to the UNMC website and read about Dr. Gold. But it's a lot is going on in the community. And just yesterday, there was a groundbreaking at UNMC. And we see the shovels and everything. But what significance is this groundbreaking yesterday? We have some video, I think, too.
Sure. Well, the groundbreaking was for what we refer to as the core building, which will be just across the street from the main campus, just across Saddle Creek. And it's going to be the home of new research space, both what we call wet lab and dry lab, research space, a little bit of administrative support, perhaps even some light retail. But mostly it's about expanding the research base at the Med Center, because frankly, in spite of all of the construction that we've done over the last decades, we continue to be out of space.
You've been involved in research yourself, I believe.
For many, many years, yes, sir.
Yes. And so I read that like the research programs have gone to 300% at UNMC over the years.
So if we go back just over the last decade, for instance, we're doing between $85 and $90 million of extramurally funded research grants and contracts. We finished last June 30th, at about $250 million, and just quarter over quarter, just got the numbers from the end of the first quarter of this year, we're up another 14%. And our audience might be interested that every $1 million of research, aside from finding new diagnostics and cures and treatments, is equal to about 35 high-paying jobs. So it's very important to the economic development of our community as well.
Yeah, and the expansion, and we're going to have some more drone shots showing, first of all, 2018, what it looked like, and then it'll go to 2023, the current. But it's taking up just a huge space there. And it's pretty amazing that it's happening, seems to me.
Well, the good news is that we continue to grow. We grow in our workforce development programs in both urban and rural Nebraska. Your audience may know that we recently broke ground out in Kearney on approximately a $95 million project to expand healthcare workforce in rural Nebraska. But here in the Omaha area, we are also growing. We're up, over the last decade, almost 1,000 students at any given time in medicine, nursing, pharmacy, dentistry, many of the allied health professions. We just talked about the research growth, but the clinical growth is also astounding. We're up to about 1.2 million outpatient visits a year, which, given all things pandemic, which really slowed down the amount of routine health care that people were getting, is really an astounding number. And our growth is driven largely by what the community tells us they need. They need more nurses, they need more physical therapists, they need more physicians. Those are the areas that we grow in.
Mm-hmm. And you came to be chancellor in 2014. It's almost been 10 years. Is this the vision that you had then when you came in of what is happening at UNMC and this Nebraska system?
Well, I've always believed that the sustainability equals growth in many different aspects: economic growth, growth in workforce development, growth in research. But the type of growth and the direction of growth is largely driven by what the community needs. As you may know, I crisscross the state into rural Nebraska an awful lot. And, every time I go to one of these rural communities, I always ask the question, what are the top 3 things that the Med Center can do to help your community, to help you? And the answer is always workforce, workforce, and workforce. And by the way, Jeff, if you're not listening, it's workforce. But it's different kinds of workforce. Some of it is certain types of therapists. Other is I need primary care. Just to give you a statistic on this, there are 14 or 15 counties out of the 93 in the state right now that do not have a single primary care doctor. There are 49 counties out of the 93 in the state that do not have a single board-certified OBGYN. there's about 50 that do not have a single board-certified pediatrician. So the workforce needs just for physicians, let alone the nearly 5,000 predicted nurse shortage that we have, are tremendous. And that's a really big part of our responsibility, is to help meet those workforce needs for both the urban communities here and also for the rural Nebraska.
Oh, that's a tremendous challenge to be able to do that. And it's ongoing. And is that why you do? You actually host a TV show on RFD, don't you? I mean, it goes on
every Monday night. Yep, it's live from 5 to 6 Central Time. But this is 6.5 years that we've done this now.
Reaching the rural population.
Yep, absolutely, coast to coast.
Now, somewhere in there, you had time to write 40 or author 40 books. Is that correct?
Books or book chapters. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And a couple hundred manuscripts. But, you know, I've had during my entire career the opportunity to work with really talented people, because this is all about teamwork. And by the way, there's no I in the word team. And that's really where I give the credit. And, you know, coming back to last Saturday night, I was just incredibly humbled, and I really was not interested in being the most honored citizen, frankly. But when I had the opportunity to stand on that great stage in front of 1,700 of our closest friends, right, I could say with incredible sense of pride that I was really standing there because of the university family and because of the Med Center, and not because of anything that I've done. And that's really where the honor belongs.
That's what I remember you saying when you spoke to the crowd, too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very selfless. Well, thank you, Doctor, for coming down, and all the best in your future endeavors. There's a lot to do still.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. And as I close with on Saturday night, and I'm absolutely sure of this, the best is yet to come.
That's very positive. All right, Dr. Jeffrey Gold.